First coach my freshman year was the late great Ox Clemens, who came over from down in Georgia, and then Coach Roderick Page and Coach Bob Hill and Coach Lattimore, and just a bevy of great guys that I had a chance to grow and mature with as teammates. I remember them fondly, and I still keep up with most of my teammates from my freshman year. Where's Brother Hartfield? Where is he? Give him a hand again. Brother Toe. Brother Toe, a hand. We talk about 20 to 25 minutes when we talk. He said, I'm not calling to tell you a whole lot, Lamb, but 30 minutes later, he said, I'll talk to you later. But it's always good because you never know where the story's going to end. But it's a joy for me to be back. And before I continue, I'd like to just take the time. She's been mentioned, but I have to let you know this lady that I've been married to, when she says jump, I don't ask her how high. I just start jumping until she tell me hi. Say hello to my wife, Jackie. Jackie Stan. But being here at Jackson State again, it's truly a joy. As I mentioned early on, the years were left over from the BET years, which were some great years. 20 years of doing black entertainment television, owned by Bob Johnson. And it was always a joy to come back, not only in the Swac, but particularly here at Jackson State University, to see a lot of the educators, a lot of the people who had touched my life. It wasn't me by myself. I want you to know, when people make it to the top, you don't get to the top by yourself. We all are crabs. I want you to know that. That's not meaning freshmen. We all are crabs. We need others to help us to get to where we're going. If you've got the right attitude, the right disposition, you're believing the right thought, you're believing the right thoughts, you're saying the right words, you're doing the right deeds, great things will happen to you. And I'm just here to tell you that great things have happened to me, and great things are still happening to me because of the joy that I have in life. It's been wonderful. And to be back here, to see the improvements, the enlargement of this great university, it's always near and dear to my heart. Jackson State, Jackson Fair, Jackson Deer. I love my dear old college home. Wherever I may roam, it's always here. It's always near. And I'll never forget it. The educators, the young men, the young ladies that helped to inspire and motivate me, the accomplishments that were achieved, and things of that nature here, they'll never be lost. These are things that I always remember. There are times when doing workouts, I'll remember a certain game or a certain scenario in school, and I'll start laughing. And I say, I better quieten it down because Jackie's going to call somebody to come out here and check on me. But it's those types of memories that I remember, and we all should keep those memories dear to heart. Don't forget those things that brought us through, those things that helped us along, because we didn't get here by ourselves. There were a lot of people that had touched my hands, that touched my life, and most of them are in the room today. And it's always a joy to come back here. This is home. This will always be home. Even when I get to my ultimate home, this will still be home. And it's a joy for me to come back. And I say thank you very much for the welcome. God bless all of you.
Good Friday evening. It is G from the G Swac Sports Network. It is almost the first of the month. The government's about to shut down and everything is going wrong. And hey, you still got me and you still got Swac Sports Network. But let me tell you something. What you just was watching was the honorable, the great Lim Barney. He is not doing well in health as of now. He's suffering from dementia, from the concussions. Want to keep him in prayers. Want to give him a special salute. The respect that I have for those men, like my father, also went to a segregated school throughout his whole life. Lim Barney went to 33rd. You heard him mention his high school. You heard him mention his teachers, his educators. his teammates, where it all started back at Jackson State, 33rd down there in Gulfport, Mississippi. That's a Mississippi young man. Way before y'all thought about prime time, Revis Island, uh, you name a cornerback. You had Lim Barney. No, the man has not passed away, but I want to give him his flowers and his, what you want to call accolades, anything, before he transitioned to be an ancestor. I hate to see everybody when we start throwing up these things, rest in peace, rest in power, you're an ancestor now. This man deserves all of the credit and the props that you can give an athlete. Awesome gentleman. Lim Barney was a great man at Jackson State. If you look at his career, and if you don't know who Lim Barney is, some of y'all ain't really Swac fans. That interview I showed to you, it was on YouTube, that was provided by Jackson State. Thank you for letting me share that. And if you go back and listen to what his words was saying, but Lim Barney, he's a humble man. If you know anything about Jackson State football, they have 4 NFL Hall of Famers, and Lim Barney is one of them. Lim Barney, like I said, he come from Gulfport, Mississippi, up to Jackson State. He played at Jackson State from 1964 to 1966. Lim played a quarterback in high school. He transitioned to defensive back. And he had 26 career interceptions at JSU in 1965 and 11 in 1966. So they quit throwing the ball over there to him. He was drafted in the 2nd round by the Detroit Lions, the 34th pick. And his first game, not only was he a defensive back, but he was a punter too. Wow. And that's something you always talk about, two-way athletes. You don't see too many defensive backs can be a punter. He averaged over 37 yards punting in the NFL during his punt time. But his first game, what I found interesting, his first game against the Green Bay Packers, he intercepted, quote unquote, the great Bart Starr. So this man, he played 11 seasons with one team, didn't bounce around. The man knew what he was doing. So I want to shout out the Detroit Lions and definitely Jackson State and the 33rd down there in Gulfport. This is just an awesome, awesome, awesome man. His career in Detroit is very well noted, but what he did at Jackson State wasn't, you will never hear that on the news. I'm pretty sure once he does transcend, it'll all be Detroit Lions highlights. You'll get very little acknowledgement about him going to a HBCU. You'll get very little acknowledgement about his contributions and all that other stuff. But I was glad to share that interview with you, or that not interview, that newsreel from JSU. Thank you once again. Now let's get downtown to business. It's week 5 in the Swac. I said it was Separation Saturday for a reason. Now, when I talk about Separation Saturday, it's week 5. Some schools in the Swac are doing the same damn thing they did the first week of football. Some schools are improving. Some schools are up and down. Some schools look like they don't know what the hell they're doing. But that's Swac football, and we love it, and we love to see it. We love to watch it, and I'm here for it. So, with further ado, let's get on to these games. What's going on now? Texas Southern got the early game starting at 2 p.m. Central in Houston, Texas. The game will be on AT&T Sportsnet Southwest. They playing Lincoln from California. Texas Southern win one for the Gipper. That's all I can tell y'all. Everybody worried about Andrew Body. Is he going to play or is he not going to play? Who knows, man? If the man is hurt, just say the man is hurt. If you dressing him out to play decoy, it ain't working. So win one for the giver. Moving along. Now this game, I don't understand the hype around Tuskegee going into Huntsville to play Alabama A&M. I'm not saying Tuskegee is a bad school or they're a bad football program. Definitely not a bad school. You got to have some brains to be up in there. Trust me. But Alabama A&M unleashed Quincy Casey last week against UAPB, and the man showed up and showed out. This is an old school HBCU rivalry. Now Tuskegee is gonna bring it, but Coach Maynard, I'm telling you, that man ain't gonna take too many more losses because he know after this week he got to go down to Mobile to play Jackson State, and Jackson State is gonna be well rested, and God knows they need to work on their special teams. So we shall see, but I got Alabama and them winning this game. Tuskegee, you're going to put up a good fight. Trust me. Miles is putting up a good fight when they play against the Swac schools. Everybody talking about the Swac play is down, this and that. Man, well, I don't think the Swac play is down. I think the excitement for the last few years has brought us to a level where we were concentrating on one school, watching that school be great, in which they were great, and we forgot about the other 11 schools. You can't watch just one school. You got to watch all schools. Now, if you're a fan of one school, I got it. Me, I watch all 12 schools. I don't see the difference between last year and this year besides the hype around what College Game Day finally came back to an HBCU after so many years, because they did go to the Bayou Classic before. So, but hey, it's the SWAC. It's Separation Saturday. Now, Southern versus Arkansas Pine Bluff, 4 p.m. Central in Pine Bluff. This game will be on the UAPB Sports Network. Salute to Arkansas Pine Bluff. You will have your team streaming every weekend, I should say. And they stream volleyball and soccer also. Salute to those ladies playing volleyball and soccer. This game here, I'm going to tell you this. Coach Dooley, if you go to Arkansas Pine Bluff and you hold that L, boy, them Gator boots and them Ashcrofts ain't going to be able to save you, homie. Because I'm telling you, Arkansas Pine Bluff is hungry. That coach from Arkansas Pine Bluff, that man motivates you. Makes me want to put on some shoulder pads and go up out there. All right. So this game, Southern, I'm expecting you to win. But if you don't, good luck to you. Next up, Arkansas State, my gosh. Alcorn State versus Alabama State. In Montgomery, the battle of 1 and 3s. Oh, man. This game right here, I can tell you this. Alcorn, you can win this game. If you keep this game within striking distance in the fourth quarter, all you got to do is run the ball. Alabama State likes to self-destruct. Alabama State, you had several opportunities to beat FAMU last weekend. You ain't fumbled the ball, you fumbled the bag. Dropped a touchdown in the end zone, lineman downfield, missing field goal. Hey, man. So, Alcorn, I know y'all upset about that 1-point loss last week, but Alabama State, they don't want to be 1 and 4, and Alcorn don't want to be 1 and 4. So, the battle of 1 and 3s, this is a tough one to call, man. But I got to go with Alcorn State. That's all I can say. As the Big Bad Braves or whatever. So that game is at 5 p.m. And it's going to be Alcorn most likely going to stream that game. And that's another thing about the games that are not being on televised on ESPN Plus or HBCU Go. you can spend what I spent $19, $20 to watch the Alcorn game last weekend. Just go ahead and do that. And before I go any further, Tuskegee versus Alabama A&M will be on HBCU Go. And salute to HBCU Go. They got their cameras working. They got, hey, Byron Allen, from whatever you did from last year to this year, it's working. Trust me. Those are some good games that you're broadcasting. So this old school rivalry for Tuskegee and Alabama, 2 p.m. Central, will be on HBCU Go. Now, out of those early games that I just mentioned, I really believe the loser out of Alabama State and Alcorn, you can go ahead and kiss your Swac dreams goodbye. Unless there's some type of miracle where Prairie View and FAMU just start losing 3-4 games in a row. Which, no, it's not gonna happen. But hey, man, everybody says, you don't know Swac, you don't this and that. Man, get out of here, man. The first Swac game I went to was 1984, man. I just don't see nobody losing 4 or 5 Swac games in a row, or 4 or 5 Swac games on their remaining schedule. I mean, sometimes people just say the darnest things, man. So I'm not gonna trip on that. But let it be what it's gonna be. All right, moving right along to the evening games. In the evening games, we got here it is. Prairie View A&M versus Grambling State Fair Classic. This game is going to be on ESPN Plus. Now, ESPN Plus, y'all cameras are horrible. 6 p.m. Central. This is my game of the week. I'm going to go ahead and skip that one and go down to Florida A&M and Mississippi Valley State. This is what I mean by separation. Florida A&M goes down to Itabena, which this game will be televised on the Rattler Network and the Valley State Sports Network. You check that out on YouTube. Valley will live stream everything. Salute to them for that. Now, if FAMU goes down there and beat Valley State, not only will they be 3-0 in the SWAC, but that's 3 Eastern Conference victories. That's separation. I don't see FAMU losing that many other SWAC games to where somebody in the East has an opportunity to catch them. If they win, who knows what Valley gonna do? Valley, this their first home game of the season. My goodness, man. I'm still baffled about how you can sit there and put your schools on the road for a month and expect you to return on any profit. Whatever. You just paying those cities, those host cities, all that money for what? If a school give you X amount of dollars to beat you into the ground, it makes no sense to me. All right, my game of the week. Prairie View A&M versus Grambling State. 6 p.m. Central. I'm going to tell you this right off top. Grambling, prove to me that you can stop somebody. The backup quarterback for Texas Southern had a field day with y'all. I'm telling you now, Prairie View A&M is going to run the football, and they're going to run it. They're going to run the ball. Grambling, you ain't stopped nobody. But nobody has stopped you either, pretty much. Except the LSU game, but that's totally different. And still, Grambling, you put up 100 yards running back. Grambling has a nice duo of running backs. So does Prairie View has a nice duo of running backs. Prairie View showed last weekend they can stop somebody. But Prairie View, your pass defense, I'm telling you now, if you don't tighten up on that pass defense, Mr. Crowley is going to throw for 400 yards against you. Grambling State, if you don't stop anything, pass or run, Prairie View is going to put up 400-500 yards of offense on you. So this game is going to be a shootout. Grambling, I really, really want you to win this game, but you got to prove to me that you can stop somebody. Now, with that being said, I got to go with Prairie View A&M. This is nothing personal. This is strictly business. So if you get mad at me, get mad. This Friday night has been brought to you by the Orange G Swac Sports Network, and I'm Orange G. And I want you to have a great, wonderful evening. Until the next time, we'll see you. Go Prairie View. How about them Panthers? Y'all have a safe weekend out there.